He's the anointed, exalted King of the new creation. He's the sinless Lamb who willingly poured out his life on our behalf. He's the model, the ideal of humanity. And here's what I mean by that. God designed humans to be administrators of the earth, but instead we became subject to it. In the fall, we became subject to the lust of the flesh and to pride. We live in subjection to others too, what they say, what they think, or even when we don't forgive them, we're trapped even more. We, by default, are carried along by the world around us, swayed, pushed, and molded. That wasn't the original design, but Jesus fulfilled that design. He was unscathed by the world. Yes, he was physically scathed, but only outwardly. He was not overcome by the world. He overcame it. He did it through humble obedience and trust, always recognizing his Father as the source of his words, his power, and his mission. Well, I was blessed to be born into a home where my parents had already found him and had determined to raise us kids humbly, in a home of love and service, and in honor to our God. I met Jesus first in my mom and dad. Well, it was when I was in college that I had my first unmistakable experience of supernatural peace. That set me on a path. I wanted to understand this man who walked through life attacked, insulted, questioned, surrounded by frustratingly dense disciples, and finally was stripped and beaten. And yet he didn't respond in kind. His spirit was not broken by the evil that assaulted him. I was amazed at this. He said, "My peace I leave with you." Well, I noticed that with humility and prayer and seeking patiently, I saw that my own selfish, irritable, and resentful heart could change. Jesus didn't derive meaning and purpose from the excitement and distractions of this life, and yet he didn't shrink away from life's challenges. He's like my big brother, who I needed to go ahead of me so I could see how it's done. Well, when life is hard, or the opposite, when life is exceptionally fun and distracting, he keeps me awake. He reminds me quietly that these are only temporary things of this world. His teachings and his hope were directed forward toward the kingdom, the one that he will rule over. And so he brings that hope to my mind regularly so that I too can endure. I honor him by hearing him, obeying him, and living humbly in his service, and by extension, service to others. I honor him by caring for what he cared about, and by paying attention to what he didn't get hung up on. Jesus will prod me when I fail and help me know when I'm being selfish. I honor him by not ignoring that pain or running away from it. I honor him by repenting. I'm imperfect and broken, and yet he sits at his Father's right hand on my behalf. In a way, he honors me because I don't deserve that. That's humbling. And then one day, maybe soon, I intend to prostrate myself before him and his God and thank him.